Welcome to today's Critical Conversations.
And again, I say this, and let me say this to those watching, and I said it repeatedly, I'm not against, I have a push for gun control. I am not against the Second Amendment. I know some people will say, I'm not against the Second Amendment. I think we need just tighter restrictions, which pulls on. Let's get to a few other questions related to gun control, because I appreciate your time, and I don't want to hold you guys forever. I want you guys to come back in the future if the Lord leads me to have another type of conversation like this. Let's first, the big conversation in the nation now is Second Amendment. Second Amendment, I'm going to read here what the Second Amendment says, and I want to know just your thoughts. And again, those that you may not have an opinion, that's fine, but if you do, I think it's important to hear it. So with the Second Amendment, it reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now that's the Second Amendment. But of course, there's a big conversation about guns, in the nation now. Just what's your opinion? Do you say, yes, people should have guns, no, people shouldn't have guns? Do you think we need better control? Do you think it's fine as we are? In this conversation also, you hear people say, well, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And there's all kind of conversation going on, but I just, want to hear from those that, feel like sharing in on the panel.
Doc, I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Yes, sir.
It's really not the guns themselves. It's the people that's behind the gun.
Yeah.
For myself, I'm not solely against guns, because you need guns for protection. But the guns get in the hands of the wrong people. And everybody don't have the same mindset that other people do. Some people keep guns to defend themselves. Some people keep guns to do things that people shouldn't do.
Right.
Make decisions that they shouldn't make. So I'm not solely against people being able to bear arms, being granted the opportunity to have a gun, because people need guns. But it's just they get in the hands of the wrong people.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And when you made the statement that gun doesn't kill people, people use them, and so since we're at that point, that is where the dilemma lies. I think that we as a nation, as a state, have to do a better job in making sure that something that carries so much weight falls in the hand of people that should have them. I think that there need to be restrictions for people need to qualify for a gun. And what I mean by that, if you have some uncontrollable habits of issues in your life, I think that should alter your rights to have something so dangerous if you're not consistent in controlling your own life without it. Because when we can't make certain decisions for ourselves, or if there's something that is altering our thinking process, then we are capable of doing these things that is not good. And so we have to do a better job. I'm for the Second Amendment as well, but I think that there needs to be a little bit stronger realm on the right to get them. Like Pastor, you say, and I make this point in closing that when you say that you can't drive before you're 16, you can't buy alcohol, cigarettes 21. Why would you make it so easy for someone that haven't reached the maturity level in life yet to make good decisions? That's why we have a juvenile program, and what that does is because it gives the juveniles a chance to redeem themselves when they make bad decisions. But when you make it so easy for them to get something so powerful, and somebody can make a decision, and it's not just all juveniles. Now we have adults that make bad decisions as well, but we're talking about what we can control. I think it needs to be a tighter grip. Background checks, age limit raised, some things like that, that can help govern the crime problem in the state and in the nation.
And also, a mental illness history check too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, that makes me think about, for instance, you know, and I'm just national news, you know, Uvalde, Texas. I mean, when I saw that, and I'm thinking, I got an 8-year-old. You know, what if that was his school?
Wow.
You know, and then, you know, I've had situations
Yeah.
with my high school
Yeah.
where I've gotten an alert, you know, school's on lockdown, you know, gun on the gun, you know, there's a gun that's been found on the premises. And the thing for me, with my high schooler, my job is across the street. I'm looking out the window thinking, I can't even go over there.
Yeah.
And I mean, every
Wow.
parental impulse in me wants to just go over there and just give me my child, you know? And so those types of, you know, situations, you know, it's just, you know, it makes me, you know, Uvalde, you think about Buffalo, New York. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure we
yeah,
all heard about that. You know, and when I think about that, you're talking about mental instability. For someone to purchase, you know, go to the AR-15 question. An AR-15 weapon, drive, and find now, and I don't know if you are, I'm sure you all may be aware of this, but they said that he intentionally looked up the blackest zip code he could find. The area that had the most black people, drove 4 hours to that area. And then, you know, as I was reading and researching, you know, just the news article, he sat outside the grocery store the day before and mapped the place out. And they, you know, eventually somebody ran him away because it's just weird, guy standing out there, and then came back the next day. I mean, with the AR-15. So this leads to this question. And I mean, you could pull AR-15, you know, from Uvalde, you know, you look at Buffalo, those are recent history. You could go back to, Officer, you might correct, but I think Columbine might have been that situation. Connecticut, the elementary school in Connecticut, I'm trying to think of it, Newtown, I think. You know, just those types of situations. So the question is, what are your thoughts on allowing citizens to have an AR-15? Now, I've heard some of the conversation about it, and I'm not even gonna weigh in on, I'll weigh in on both sides, maybe toward the end, but what are our thoughts on that?
And I'm all for making it tighter for people to get even a assault rifle, because right now it's really no control with it. Yeah, you gotta have a pistol permit. You can't purchase a firearm until you're 21. You can have a pistol permit at 18, but that kind of contradicts itself. You can't buy it, but you can carry it while you're 18. If I buy it for you and you 18, as long as you got a pistol permit, you can carry it. State of Georgia, you don't even need a pistol permit.
No.
Don't even need it.
So you just get a pistol in the state of Georgia without.
Go in the store and buy it.
Yeah, it varies from state to state, you know. And, you know, the AR-15, as I understand, is, you know, causes significantly more damage than,
Yeah.
than a normal handgun. An AR-15 also, you can, fire multiple shots faster and quicker than, than an individual handgun.
Wow.
So, that's, an AR-15 is, it's, maximum, damage and maximum number of people is kind of the goal of the AR-15. Now, and
When you're talking about the AR-15, what is a legal scenario when you would need one?
What's a legal?
Scenario, yeah, that you would need a AR-15 in this life.
I'll play, well, I'm in church, I guess I shouldn't say devil's advocate, but I'm gonna say devil's advocate, all right? The pastor said I'm gonna play devil's advocate, all right? Looking at the Constitution, if you interpret it literally, a well-regulated militia. So the Constitution guarantees that citizens can bear arms if they feel like the government, is against them, not fully representing them. Now, that's the literal interpretation of the Constitution. I got issues with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have issues with that, but as I understand it, when, the founders, wrote the Constitution, they wrote that because their ability to get rifles and weapons, it wasn't an AR-15. And then technically, it doesn't say guns, it says arms.
Right.
So then you can define what is an arm. An arm could be a pocket knife.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's for matter of interpretation there, but for your question there, the founders wrote that so that if the government in place became oppressive like the British monarchy was on the colonists, that you always had the ability to take up arms as it relates to the government.
I just think that's something that need to be looked at.
Yeah.
It really, and then I'm gonna tell you one other thing, and I'll be through. I don't think that it's a bad idea to look at what's working for somebody else in a situation like this. How is it that it's so bad in my house, but it's good in yours? It makes me think, what you doing over there to keep this? And we often ask each other, hey, what do you do for this, or what do you do for that? Because what someone else does can be helpful to you if it's working. So I think that we need to look, as a nation, I think we need to look at somewhere else and ask the question, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, and I know exactly what you're hitting on.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just pull the sheets off of that. Other countries.
Yes.
For instance, there was New Zealand. There was a mass killing in New Zealand. New Zealand immediately, within a matter of months, put in tighter gun control laws. They put in tighter gun control laws, violence and crime dropped.
Yes.
And it stayed down. You're looking at other countries, the United Kingdom, Great Britain. They don't have as free access to guns, and their gun crime compared to our gun crime significantly lower. In the United States, it's when you do gun statistics, and I think this comes from, don't quote me, but I think this is even from the National Rifle Association. There are more guns in the United States than there are people. So you have more guns than you do people. There are more than 330 million guns in the United States. And so they're just all over the place. Whereas in other countries, if I remember, I think the closest match, and don't quote me on the statistics, I'd have to have it with me, it's like 40-1. So you got 40 people for every one gun. But in the United States, you got more than one gun for every individual. And so it's the size of the problem. And there's so many guns, that people with mental issues, I think it's easy for them to get a handle on it. People, you know, that have criminal activity and criminal mindsets, it's easy for them to get a handle on it. You know, and then we talk about, you know, 16 driving, 21 drinking. Even at 21, I don't think I had the mindset to handle a gun. At 21, I was still young, dumb, stupid. All right, well, again, I don't want to hold you guys forever. I do want to ask one more question that I want everyone to answer. And again, as I've mentioned, I'm not rushing the conversation, but I don't want to hold you forever. But the last question, which I think is probably the greatest benefit for most people who will possibly take a moment to sit and watch this, and I'm hoping that some young people, juveniles, will take a moment and watch this. And the last question is, in terms of advice that you would have for someone, a high schooler, you know, someone in their 20s or 30s, still in that making bad decisions type environment, what advice would you give them? You know, it could be one word, it could be whatever, but yeah.
Okay, I would say be a leader instead of a follower. Choose your association wisely, because bad association spoils useful habits, and you can make one bad decision that can change your life forever.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I would say if you can, just walk away. I mean, like Pastor was saying, the choice that you make sometimes can out your life for the rest. So just, if you can, just you know, turn the other cheek and go on. Don't even worry about it, because it's too much want to be popular from Sid Lynette. Just want to be popular and want to do what the next man do, or you know, your name to appear on. You know, just walk away and you know, turn the other cheek and go on, and in the end you'll look back and say, well, I'm glad I did what I did, because it's really not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
I would give an advice to the younger generation. Don't age faster than your years.
I like that.
That's fine. That's fine.
Don't get it confused, because life, I think of life as done. The more you peel it, the more it make you cry. But life sometimes makes you grow up faster than your age. It's just how the table turns sometimes.
Yes.
But if you are granted the opportunity to stay a child, be a child. Stay in a child place. For the older generation, when you see a young person doing something they don't supposed to, don't praise them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't praise, good job. No, it's not a good job.
Yeah.
If they're doing something wrong, if they're doing something they ain't supposed to, correct them. Help them up. Train up a child in the way he should go.
Yeah.
When he get old, it won't deter from him. So help them. Because a lot of people, and I say it all the time, a lot of older people have so much to say about younger people and younger generation, but they don't do nothing to help.
Exactly.
Nothing. Faith without work is dead.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
I mean, you can't talk about younger people and the younger generation if you ain't doing nothing to help, to encourage them to do better, stay in school, get a better education, stay away from violence, gun violence. I mean, like, you can't talk about it if you're not gonna be about it.
That's good. That's good.
I will give a word to everyone that is watching, that life is what you make it to be. And if you want success in life, then it lies in your choices. We have to make good choices, not only as youth, but as adults as well, because there is consequences for choices. also there is a reward inside for choices. So we have to make good decisions. That is my word today.
Well, lastly, I just want to say thank you to each of you for your time and for being here today. And it's my prayer again that God bless each and every one of you for the sacrifice of time
Amen.
to bless our youth. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Pastor.